Happy Thursday, everyone. Today is June 18th, 2026. Welcome to Red Hot Takes. I'm Brandy.
I'm Trina.
And we are the Red Hot Ladies.
Ladies! Oops. We rewrote the whole thing and I still flumbered opening the show. Well, you know, it's really hard, not that we're diverging it into whatever. It's really hard when she comes with snackies. She's got snackies today. Can we talk about your snackies?
Well, why don't we stay on schedule for now?
Whatever. All right. Welcome back to another episode of Portage County's premier morning show at night. Broadcast live from the beautiful studios here at Create Portage County. Today's show is brought to you by Lauterbach Legal. We just love them over there. He is a local law firm who does estate planning, probate, and other important life transactions. Please give them a call for all your legal needs. Like, we don't need that. We don't need that.
No, not right now anyway.
Couple shows in, we'll see.
Maybe.
Knock on wood. All right. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. And our beautiful, I'm going to call it because they are just fabulous tonight. Our non-alcoholic beverages tonight's show is brought to you by
MEJs.
The amazing MEJs. I am telling you, it just gets better every week. Even our Carl got a drink this week. Did you taste it?
I have not yet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He's lucky I didn't see that drink. I would have downed that puppy in a heartbeat.
Should never ask a question you don't already know the answer to when we're live. Just throwing that out there.
And then, we have weapons. I can't.
It's going to be a fun show.
All right. MEJ's is a local coffee shop bringing you freshly in-house roasted coffee weekly since 2003, offering you a wide selection of coffee and many other refreshments. They have not one, but 2 locations in downtown Stevens Point. MEJ's Coffee Vault located in Park Ridge. And they have a wonderful new summer drink menu started last week, maybe 2 weeks ago now, and we are loving it. So let's go right into this. Let's see. Let me make sure we're on the right page here. Brandy's like, what is she doing? Oh my gosh, there's just too much today.
I have no idea what you're
We have
doing.
a full pack show. I've never been more intimidated with going, oh my gosh, I have to read all
We're
this.
2 minutes ahead of schedule. We can take a break for a snack if you like.
All right, I'm in. You want to try those snack? I'm a little bit worried where they came from. I'm a little bit worried. I mean, I'm in if you're in, but, you know.
I don't think we should try them on camera.
Okay, we're not.
Okay.
They're just going to sit there and look pretty for a while. We'll maybe do a bloopers.
Sure, we can do that.
All right, let's get into this construction chaos brought to you by the City of Stevens Point, the only municipality who tears up multiple thoroughfares all at once.
This week in construction chaos, motorists continue to see clogged side streets and long waits as various municipalities conduct several road and utility projects simultaneously. Motorists in Stevens Point and Plover can also expect the added inconvenience of chip sealing on several area roads over the next several days. 4th Avenue between Isidore and Reserve Streets remain closed through mid-August for a rebuilding of the Collins Classroom Center. Michigan Avenue remains closed at Patch, and Business 51 South is also closed beginning at the McDill Pond Causeway. Drivers will also begin to see lane closures and detours on Business 51 North Side beginning right after the 4th of July holiday. Also, Michigan Avenue North between North Point Drive and the driveway to Century Road will close to all traffic starting Monday, June 22nd for the installation of private utilities.
Wonderful. All right, your hottest news stories of the week are going to be brought to you today by the one and only Maher Water Corporation. They have started their business on Main Street in Stevens Point in 1950. Wow. They are family operated for 3 generations and now going on 4. Maher provides water treatment, your water treatment needs, servicing families in their homes. They are North Central Wisconsin's trusted name in the water serving Wisconsin for over 76 years. I'm so impressed by that. All right, what you got?
We have the Central Sands Amateur Radio Club is inviting the public to 2 upcoming events in Plover that highlight the world of ham radio and emergency communications. Kids Day will be held from noon to 5 p.m. on June 20th, giving young people and families a chance to get hands-on experience with amateur radio, under the guidance of licensed operators. The club will also host its annual Field Day event from 1 p.m. on June 27 to 1 p.m. on June 28 for a 24-hour demonstration of emergency and off-grid communications. Both events will take place in the field south of Walmart and west of Goodwill in Plover, and the public is invited to attend. In city news, a decision on a proposed 7 Brew drive-through coffee shop at the former Cooper Motors property on Division Street has been pushed back until July. Would you stop making that noise?
What? Why is it being pushed back?
Sounds like a dying animal.
I can't. Why is it being pushed
Stevens Point City Council members voted unanimously to delay the project after learning that the developer had submitted additional documents on the day of the meeting, and several council members said they wanted more time to review the information. The proposal has sparked debate over the future of Division Street, with supporters arguing that the project would bring a new investment to a property that's sat vacant since 2008, while opponents say it doesn't fit the city's long-term vision for the corridor.
All right. Well, thank you, Brandy. Plover Fire Department is hiring. The local Plover Fire Department in Portage County is looking for more paid on-call firefighters, EMTs, and advanced EMTs and paramedics department. Oh.
You couldn't remember the next word?
Department officials say firefighter applicants don't need prior experience. Oh, wow. As training will be provided. Wonderful. EMS personnel can serve through the department's emergency medical response program, while paramedics may also have opportunities for ambulance staffing and shift coverage. Anyone interested can stop by the fire station at 2400 Post Road or call 715-345-5310 for more information.
A long-planned effort to transform the pedestrian tunnel connecting Main Street and the Portage County Public Library is moving forward after downtown Stevens Point secured a $50,000 state grant. The project, known as the Library Alley Activation Project, will add public art, landscaping, improved lighting, accessibility upgrades, and interactive features to the corridor that many residents know simply as the tunnel. Work is already beginning, with mural panels being removed for restoration and new artistic elements planned for later this summer. Organizers say about $70,000 has been raised so far, but another $30,000 is still needed to complete the full vision for the downtown gathering space. In other news, Portage County recently announced that it quietly rolled out a new artificial intelligence system that's now answering many non-emergency calls to the dispatch center. The system can that was a really bad sound effect, Trina.
I know. We got to get one.
The system, known as Aurelian, can provide information, route callers to the correct department, and collect details from people reporting non-emergency incidents before forwarding that information on to a dispatcher. Sheriff Mike Lucas said the goal is to reduce workload and burnout for dispatchers who handled more than 103,000 calls last year. But he stresses that 911 calls are not being affected and are still being directly answered by communications staff.
Sorry to interrupt you, Miss Brandy, but please stay tuned for the last half of the show while Trina talks about her red hot take for the week, and guess what the topic is?
What?
Oh, the AI. All right.
And finally, if you're looking for something different to do, the UWSP Planetarium has one public show remaining this month.
Am I rubbing off on you?
You are. The final summer program, Cosmic Origins Spectrograph, is scheduled for 7 p.m. on Monday, June 29. The free show includes a look at the current night sky over central Wisconsin and is open to the public on a first-come, first-served basis. The planetarium is located inside the Science Building on the UWSP campus, and it's open to the public. That's all I have for hot news this week.
Well, I will tell you, I've been with my children to the planetarium. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great time.
It's gorgeous. I haven't been there. We should go.
Right.
I haven't been there in a really long time.
Okay.
I just think it would be fun to go. It's just like, nope, not going to happen. Okay. Anything else we would like to add to any of that? Otherwise, I am really excited. I say this every week. I'm so excited to bring our guest on. I say this every week. It's becoming a thing.
Trina was all nervous this week about it. And we're a couple minutes ahead of schedule, so she was really nervous. Tell everyone why you were nervous about this guest coming on.
Not so much nervous, just excited for this candidate and more.
Oh, so it's a candidate.
Yes, it's a candidate. Can I show my merch? before we announce?
Merch?
I'm going to call this
I don't
merch.
know if I'd call that merch. I'd call that swag.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Potato.
All right. So today's guest is on the November 11th ballot. Has the best hair, we say, in local law enforcement.
Trina says.
Okay. Okay. After 3 terms, Sheriff Mike Lucas has announced he is not seeking re-election. The sheriff's office operates on a 4-year term, and the only candidate to file for this position, without further ado,
You said it right.
Josh Ostrowski!
Yay!
Please join us. So, Lemur,
How are you?
thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it.
Welcome, Captain Ostrowski.
And I'm going to call him Josh, isn't that? It's so weird.
Well, I have more respect for him than that, so
Oh, geez, Louise.
I'll use his actual rank.
People on TikTok, help me out. All right,
Paramilitary
so
organizations appreciate that chain of command. It's very important for the
It
internal
is.
morale of everyone who works in the agency.
it is, but I have a little more personal relationship. Not over the years, but my father and my mother worked with both your parents, separate employers. So both our parents knew each other very well.
Long time.
Small town. All right, so my first question, and I'm excited. Oh,
Let's go.
Josh, arrest her. She's beating me up with these toys she brought today. What are these? Like pointer thingy dingers?
Just things to make you laugh.
Oh, good. And what's up
Little
with
toys.
this? You think Josh is gonna?
What are you criticizing my table decorations here?
Oh, what is this?
Everyone, you guys all remember, we've had a firefight. Oh, sorry, we've had a firefighter on here in the past, and Trina, and a veteran of the United States Air Force to talk about the honor flight. And Trina brought in the most ridiculous, gaudy bunting you've ever seen in your entire life. And now she's criticizing me for bringing in a radio, scanner.
I was thinking you were gonna have Josh on speed dial if we ever need him. So that's what that's for. Sorry,
I
Josh.
don't have
That's
anything
a
else.
firefighter radio, by the way.
I understand that, but I don't have it's the closest thing I have to
Okay.
other than blue sunglasses to kind of show my support for law enforcement. I have nothing else that's anywhere close, so we could dress our table
With thingy dingers.
And I'm sure all the first responders are laughing at me right now, and that's total. I'm fine with people. I honestly, people laugh at me all the time. I'm good.
Message us if you have any comments. We could address them on the show. All right, let's get this party started. So, right away, when and why did you realize you wanted to be in law enforcement? And I personally do not know what and how old you were and why you decided to do that.
That's like 5 questions in one.
Good.
All right.
Well,
It's a lot.
I guess my story's not the perfect one or the dream story. Like, I was in kindergarten and I wanted to be a police officer. That's not the case. I didn't know that I was going to be in law enforcement until I got into college. I went into college undecided and got into criminal justice type courses, and that's where my interest grew. Then I think it was my senior year of college, I was able to have an internship with the Portage County Sheriff's Office, and what the stuff that I did there and learned there, riding with the deputies, doing projects, crime scenes, traffic scenes. That's when I really knew this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. So.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, that was 98, fall of 98.
I feel old right now.
I was just wondering how many of our listeners were not born yet
Yeah.
in 98. We're that age now where
We need glasses.
the younger
for certain
generation
things.
might not have been born at that time. That's kind of
Yeah.
sobering.
Okay, wonderful. Tell us a little bit about your experiences in Portage County Sheriff's Office, like certain things, that maybe were difficult or not so difficult, or things that hit home or that were important to you along the road here, or what you've done maybe.
All right. I guess for me, it's easiest just to kind of do it chronologically and start
Sure.
off from the beginning.
Perfect.
So I started up at Wausau PD, actually. I worked up there for 18 months prior to coming home down to the sheriff's office here. I started off in patrol. I worked patrol, night shift, day shift, PM shift for like 3 or 4 years, and then I had the opportunity to get into drug investigations. I was the drug investigator for the sheriff's office for about 5 years. Very interesting. Learned a lot. Fun. a lot of hours, but at the time of my life, it was great because I was able to work a lot of hours, and we did some really, really big cases. After the drug unit for about 5 years, then I got into general investigations. I was a major crimes investigator, did anything from thefts and burglaries all the way to homicides.
Oh, wow.
After that, I got promoted to the road. I was a road sergeant for a while, and then I was able to go back to the detective bureau as a supervisor in our detective bureau, and that led me on to a lieutenant's position. In 2019, I took the captain's position that I have now, and I am currently the undersheriff as well.
Wonderful. That is very impressive. All right, Brandy, what you got? Do I want to know?
You
Questions
said you
about
got
any of that?
promoted to the road. Explain that, because I don't think people understand. Promote doesn't sound like promotion to the layman's ear.
Yeah, so when I was in the detective bureau, I did general investigations, and then there was an opportunity to go and be a supervisor on patrol. So the title was road sergeant, so I was a road sergeant on patrol. I did that for like 18 months or 2 years. I don't know what the exact time frame. It was great. And then I had the opportunity to come back to investigations in the same rank, sergeant of the detective bureau. So I was a supervisor of the detective bureau. So
you're the guy who responds when the angry driver goes, "I want to talk to your supervisor."
I'm that guy. Yeah,
All
I was
right.
for a while at least. Yes.
Oh, wow.
What's something about being in law enforcement that surprised you after you were in the job for a while? What is something that you went, "Oh, I didn't think it would be like this," or?
Well, it might sound cheesy, but when people think of law enforcement, most of the time you think of, and it's just the nature of society, I guess, you think of all the negative stuff. And when I got into law enforcement, what really surprised me, still surprises me to this day, I stop at the Quick Trip just down the road a couple times a week, and there's always somebody that tells me thank you, or thank you for your service. There is a lot more thank yous that you receive than the negative part of the job. So that surprised me a little bit. Probably could have came up with a better answer, but
that's fine.
You're doing great.
I think I'm often surprised when I'm reading through the blotter of police and sheriff calls at how many calls there are for you stop to help someone with a flat tire or someone's car broke down or whatever. But there are lots of calls for motorist assistance, and I just think that's pretty cool because you don't get used to seeing that. You get used to people calling in noise complaints about their neighbors upstairs, and my ex-husband is late dropping the kids off, and that kind of thing. So
yeah, and the goal is to come up with a solution, whatever that solution may be. Our deputies, they change tires all the time. If it's a snowstorm, they'll babysit if they have to because somebody has to be somewhere for a little while. Not that that's something that we do all the time, but whatever it takes to get a positive outcome.
Here's a question. You mainly only cover Portage County. Can you explain where the cutoff is there? Because I've actually seen, I think it was Park Ridge or something where we couldn't get the city guys there. Not the fire department, but the city guys, there was a call and a county guy came, a county police officer.
So it really gets... It's really detailed. It gets really specific in some areas of the county. It's general jurisdiction. So our jurisdiction is the county, meaning townships, villages. The village of Park Ridge is the sheriff's office jurisdiction. So if there's an accident in front of, let's say, Walgreens.
It was actually Walgreens, and I was sitting there and nobody was showing up.
Our deputies would respond. It doesn't mean that Stevens Point, we all work together, so it doesn't mean that Stevens Point PD would drive by. They would stop, and they would make sure that, but the actual paperwork and the investigation would be conducted by the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
Now, Stevens Point PD has, their officers are deputized, Plover PD's officers are deputized, so if we need assistance, they can come out into the county and vice versa. So
it's the same with UWSP police officers. They're deputized as well?
Yes.
Is that right?
Good to know. I didn't know that, Park Ridge. That's why it was a bad accident and nobody was showing up. And I think there was a first responder.
How long ago was this? I thought you meant like last week or something. I'm like,
Just before we got snow, there was a really bad accident there. No, I'm not kidding. And the first responder, somebody showed up and we were like, where's the city? Like it's yonder down the
But
road.
you can't think like that because you have no idea what calls they're already out
Yeah.
on. One guy could be in the middle of delivering a baby,
Yeah,
and the other
no.
guy could be chasing a bad guy who's wanted for drugs. I mean,
Yeah, and I only heard this because people were really upset that nobody was coming, and it was.
so did you witness this, or
No.
is this a Facebook
No, I was
thing?
No. Oh gosh.
You saw this on the people of
Where-
Facebook have done a real disservice to this community.
Another thing, thank goodness, maybe Josh will be leaving. She's going to let it rip about the Facebook stuff. So this is going to be good.
That's separate from what we're talking about here.
No, it was a really bad accident, and it people were complaining, and I was like, they're probably busy, as the city.
Yeah. I can assure you that if Stevens Point PD was available,
They would have been
and
there.
close, they would have been.
No,
there.
I know that.
Same with the
Yeah.
State Patrol.
That's what I said.
None of us are big enough to
Yeah.
handle everything.
Yeah.
We all work together. That's part of why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, and no ill intent
Yeah.
against the Point PD at all. It was just I didn't know either. So thank you for clarifying that you guys do cover Park Ridge. Oh, I didn't know that.
Town Hall is another tricky one. They have like pockets, out by Fleet Farm on the east side of town that in neighborhoods where just the process of annexation hasn't happened for that particular area.
And then there's like 9 homes on Country Club that are technically inside Hull.
Yep.
So yeah, it's
Glad I asked
interesting.
this question because I had no idea this was a thing.
It's a whole Pandora's box.
Oh
honestly.
my gosh! Wow. I didn't know that. Yeah. All right. So why sheriff? Is this can be a very difficult position and a demanding job in itself. And I know you have a family. Why sheriff?
Yeah. So two
Or
questions.
rather,
First-
why the
first-
hell do you want to be sheriff?
Yeah.
Two-part.
Two-part. The first part, why? This is my home. This is
Born and
Trinity,
raised.
yes. Born and raised. My family's home. Here forever. I'm proud to be from Portage County. Proud to say that I'm from Portage County. I'm proud of the Portage County Sheriff's Office. I've had many opportunities there, and this is probably the best way. It's time. It's opportunity and timing. Really, this is my way to give back. The answer to your second part is I'm not alone. I've had that. The team at the Sheriff's Office is awesome. There's great employees there. The another cheesy one.
This is all. This
So
is
the
great.
top floor of any building is only as strong as the floors below it, especially the foundation. So and there's great people at the Sheriff's Office we're all on the same team, right? So it's a tough job.
Yeah.
And again, like I said before, I had a front row seat for the last 6 or 7 years. I worked side by side with the sheriff, so I feel like he's told me that I can put him on speed dial and he'll answer the phone. So kind of know what to expect. I'm sure there'll be some curveballs in there.
Yeah.
But, we'll address it as a team.
I was really excited when I heard you announced. I was like, oh my goodness. I was excited about it because you're born and raised here and you've been here and doing amazing things already. So I was excited for him.
What part of Portage County were you born in? Or where
I was born in the Polonia-Rochelt area.
Were you
Attended
from
Rochelt
home?
schools.
What I should have said. Who
Attended
were you from
Rochelt
home?
schools.
Rochelt.
UWSP.
Yeah. My grandma was from Rochelt, so sweet. Bittersweet.
So when the zombies rise, how will the folks fare in Rochelt compared to the urban areas of Stevens Point?
They will be fine, trust me.
Luke Combs, there you go. There's a couple songs there I can relate to doing the Rochelt.
What?
I had to do it. I'll play you the songs.
I have no interest in listening to Luke Perry. Or
It is okay.
Whatever.
There's this thing we have. I went to a Luke Combs concert.
and she won't shut up about it. She still talks about it.
We've got some, country
Okay.
boys out in Rochelt.
That's fine. I'm curious, nationwide we've seen this move to include AI-assisted dispatch into a lot of law enforcement. Some people call them dispatch centers. Some people call them Comtech centers. And we have the communication center here. And so I'm going to use those phrases interchangeably. But we're seeing that move into AI-assisted dispatch. And I'm curious, what is your opinion of this?
Yeah, big controversy, right?
Trina's not looking or listening right now.
My opinion is if it helps the communications center, it's no secret these people in there are the most passionate, dedicated, hardworking people that you've ever met. There's been a staffing shortage in the communications center since I've been involved with the administration, the sheriff's office. That's 2019, and we've struggled to get back to full strength in there. So if an AI assisted dispatch helps us with non-emergency calls, it helps alleviate some of the workload so that our communication technicians can focus on the public safety radio traffic within the county and the emergency calls. Why not? That's my opinion. If it relieves stress, helps with the staffing shortage, and it alleviates some of the burnout. Let's try it, right?
Yeah.
So it's something 70 or 80% of your calls were non-emergent last year. Were non-emergency calls.
Yeah. Now you're question. Now you're.
I think it was.
That's my number. I
would feel like that's accurate. That's very accurate.
I think it was like 211. It was a lot of calls.
It's basically a very customizable and it's a glorified kind of phone tree.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
A lot of the calls, the Portage County Communications Center has kind of evolved into the switchboard. They'll point me in the right direction. They'll get me to the right place, and it's kind of taken away from that main focus of taking care of all of the first responders through the public safety radio channels and radio traffic and the emergency side of it, getting the emergency calls fielded, the resources in the right place in a timely manner.
Because it's for years and years and years, dispatchers were called the 4%ers. It's kind of a nickname for them because there was some study done somewhere where something like only 4% of the population has the mental ability to do that kind of multitasking.
Absolutely. Yes. And we do part of the hiring process within the communications center is something it's an online testing platform. It tests your active listening and your multitasking, everything at the same time. They have 6 screens in front of them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's a very demanding, difficult position. I mean, talk about not taking your work home with you. I mean, same thing goes for you guys as well. You get a difficult call, and that's a hard one.
But they go from having a difficult call where they had to maybe talk someone through CPR to when Notre Dame in Paris was on fire. And one of your dispatchers took a call from an elderly gentleman who was just beyond himself upset. And I walked into dispatch. I was getting some general photographs from a distance. And this particular dispatcher, a very tall male dispatcher, had his head down on the desk and was just shaking his head and going, "Yes, sir, I understand it. It breaks my heart, too." And he's talking this poor older fellow through something that the older fellow was very traumatized by. And he did it professionally, but at the same time, how many other calls were trying to come in at the same time? So that's...
It doesn't surprise me. That paints a perfect picture of what they deal with. One minute they may be delivering a baby, and the next minute, somebody's wants directions somewhere.
Sure.
That's typical.
So why are you the only candidate running? Why hasn't anyone else run for this position?
I don't know. God answered my prayers, I guess.
But do you have any thoughts as to why? And I'm not. This is not a negative remark on anyone in the office or anyone running or anything like that. I'm just curious. Do you have an opinion?
I don't think that it's a simple answer. I can laugh. Makes my summer a lot less stressful, right?
Sure.
God answer my prayers. Because it's initially now it's uncontested. I think internally it didn't surprise me because we prepared ourselves. As an agency, I've been there for going on 26 years. We've gone through some processes in the past where there's been multiple internal candidates, and it creates a divide.
Sure.
There's stress on a department. It takes a while for that to heal, and a lot of the older, more tenured employees at the sheriff's office, we didn't want to see that happen again. So the topic was discussed. We didn't know if Sheriff Lucas was going to run a third term. So
Fourth.
Well, a third even the last time
Oh,
around.
I see.
So this
wow.
discussion has been going on for 3 or 4 or 5 years, and I could name some guys specifically that we talked like who's next, and like I said earlier, timing, opportunity, And I was the one that would always say, if it's my time, I'll do it. You know, I owe it to the community. I owe it to the sheriff's office. And, you know, let's have some fun, I guess.
I know. I'm excited to watch this election play out. I'm excited. Do you feel this position should be a partisan position?
I do not.
Why?
Okay.
You know, it's the state constitution has it written. It's in the state constitution. That's why it's on the November ballot. Mm-hmm. And if you know elections, so the sheriff's elections are mandated to be on the November ballot.
Yes.
The November ballot is the president, Congress,
Governor.
They're required to be partisan elections. Mm-hmm. That being said, the sheriff's office is a partisan election. Now, I think that has, over the years, has evolved. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of interest in some portions of the state regarding sheriff's elections, so maybe money has something to do with it. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. But the real answer would be it's on a November ballot, and the November ballot is a partisan election. That's why the sheriff's office is. We're not going to respond to a crime scene or a traffic crash and ask you,
what party you're affiliated.
What political party are you affiliated with?
Yeah.
You know, the sheriff's office, law enforcement in general, has to enforce the laws fairly, without prejudice, and that's the bottom line.
That's actually an interesting distinction that I never realized needed to be said out loud. Earlier this year, late last year, there was a fire in Dewey, and the gentleman had a Donald Trump sign in his yard. And as firefighters were putting out the fire, he came up to me and said, I was really worried that the firefighters might not do a good job because of the Donald Trump sign in my yard. And I never thought people would think that way. I didn't realize that would even be a thought in someone's mind, that a first responder may or may not do a job based on the candidate's sign I have in my yard. I just thought that was interesting.
It wouldn't even cross my mind, to be honest with you. And I've been involved with public safety for
long
27
time.
years.
Yeah. Wow, I never even thought of something. That's really sad.
I'm still learning every day too.
Wow, it kind of catches me differently a little bit.
So
there.
I'm kind of wondering if do you have any? A lot of the calls that you guys respond to don't end well. Not all of them, but some of the things that you respond to are not very nice. And I'm wondering if there are any funny calls, or we worked really hard and finally found the bad guy calls, or is there anything that stands out from your time in the sheriff's office so far that you're able to share a little bit about? And I apologize, maybe we should have warned him we were going to be asking about this. There's probably so many calls to choose from.
Does it have to be PG-13?
It does have to be PG-13.
All right, well then that eliminates about 99% of them.
Sure.
I think I could come up with one though. You know, public safety in general, law enforcement, firefighters, they're practical jokesters, and a lot of times it's between each other. You know, one profession versus the other. There's a lot of just to pass the time. You know, and it's maybe a coping mechanism even too, humor, practical jokes, asking me about a funny one. So when I was in the detective bureau, I worked a lot with child protective services, adult protective services from the Portage County Health and Human Services. And I'm not going to mention any names. If they see this, they'll laugh. But I was working on a particular case. There's an elderly woman that was being taken advantage of like a financial elder abuse. So we were dealing with the elderly woman, and APS agents, they knew her from previous interactions, and I didn't. So they weren't surprised, and they laughed. After we got done with all of the financial information and the facts and getting the family involved and getting the resources, this elderly woman inappropriately propositioned me in front of.
I was like, "Where's this going?" I was like,
in front of that. So the APS.
Wow.
They laughed. I didn't.
Josh was like,
it made me blush almost as much as the introduction. So it started off with me blushing.
I'm surprised she isn't stalking you now.
It was a great outcome. She got the resources she needed. Family got involved, but they got a chuckle out of it.
And I've really seen their banter. Have you ever gone to one of their the fundraisers you guys had with Culver's?
Oh, yes.
The banter
I
between,
go
like,
to-
it was really good.
I cover the rescue task force
Yeah.
every year. I go to I go to more fire than I do police trainings because fire is more. Firefighter will be like, "Oh, come on in, I'll show you everything. Let me show you every single piece of equipment I have." You guys don't, because you really can't. A lot of your equipment is confidential, and you're trying to keep it from the bad guys, so that's understandable. But they're all jokesters. The trash talking between police and fire is wonderfully epic. And the Guns N' Hoses game every year. Do you play in that? Or you did?
I used to. Now I have a lot of younger, much more athletic deputies that do it.
But you've heard the trash talking. It's usually quite family friendly.
I was part of it.
It's a lot of
Ron
fun.
Hebler and I.
Oh yeah, he's
I actually got to witness that at the Culver's night, the fundraiser. It was kind of neat. Everyone was kind of like, it was cute. It was neat to see. Running off of that one. What about I love this. Running off of that one. I love this. So, what is your advice? Gosh forbid you pull over a 16-year-old who gets first time pulled over. What advice do you have for them, going home and, oh my God, I got pulled over. And, for the 16-year-olds out there that are just getting their driver's license, freaking out, 9 and 11.
Yeah, this is an easy
9
one.
9 and 11. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but what is 9 and 11?
Can you help
Because
me on
9
this?
is here.
I said this.
And 11 is down here. Where are your hands on a wheel?
Or like whatever.
To the
it
young
is.
people who might be listening, do not utilize the 9 and 11 because I think that's going to cause some problems.
I remember it was either my grandfather or my dad. It was kind of a joke. And it was like, oh my God. And that's literally now, ever since that bad accident I was in, I literally am like, oh my God, all the time.
Well, if you wouldn't have had your hands at 9 and 11, maybe you wouldn't have had that accident.
Right?
Okay, Josh, correct me on that one. It's kind of a joke. But anyway.
This is a simple one for me. I have 2 teenagers at home, so it's the advice that I'd give them. Be polite, be honest. In most cases, if it's your first time being stopped, it's going to be, unless it's a really severe infraction, it's going to be an education.
Yeah,
it's going to be a learning lesson. And, the law enforcement's not out there. In central Wisconsin, all of the law enforcement that I've dealt with, they're not out there to just write you a ticket or get you, especially a young driver, where they can make it a learning lesson. And to be honest with you, that young driver is going to learn more from that interaction than they would from a citation.
For sure, like an impactful, respectful type stop. Hey, you make some changes here and there, and I love that. Thank you for answering that.
If I'm driving in a dark area and I don't feel safe pulling over, can I legally keep driving to a lit parking lot before? No, I that happened to one of my sons at one point, and
you could, as long as it's a good explanation and a good reason. You could also pick up your phone, call 911,
and they're behind you.
Yeah.
If you don't get hit by
here's what's happening. Is this what should I do? Is this something that I should do? Yeah.
Outstanding.
So if you ever question if a real police officer is behind you, I've heard a lot about this too. Just call 911.
Yes.
But the nice thing about law enforcement in Portage County is I think on all 3 of your websites, even possibly UWSP Police Department, there's all your pictures. We can see who all of you are on the various websites for local law enforcement.
If the sirens are going and they're behind you, you're not going to grab your phone and be scrolling. Wait a minute.
No.
Excuse me, just a minute. Is this guy behind me?
We've got so many law enforcement officers who are so involved in so many things across the community. Their photos are taken all the time. Their pictures are all over social media. Yeah. It'd be pretty hard to be a law enforcement officer in our county and not have your picture somewhere online.
For sure.
That's kind of my point.
Yeah.
What advice might you have for the first-time voter this year?
Ooh.
First-time voter?
First-time voter. If someone's voting for the first time this year.
Vote for me. No, educate yourself. A lot of times you see voters, they'll vote either one way or the other. And my suggestion is educate yourself on who you're going to vote for. It's not hard, especially with the resources out there today to really find out who somebody is.
Sure.
As a mother, no longer teenagers, I get told, I'm not, Mom, just leave me alone. I'm not voting for that. They never always agree, or they sometimes agree with me, but, it's I don't like that now. I can't tell
I would
OstrowskiForSheriff.com. There. That's,
yes.
that's a good resource.
We
We
were
were
just
just-
thing I was going to ask you about.
Yes.
You're on social media as well?
I am not. I have a website.
Wow.
And I have an email if somebody wants to ask me questions.
Okay.
Would you care to give your email as well?
The email is ostrowskiforsheriff@gmail.com.
All right.
Got some really nice flyers. These are very nice.
Is there anything we didn't ask you about that you want to include? Anything else you want to talk about?
No, it's been interesting. It's been
Well, we try to make it very
We try to
interesting.
make it
We wanted to
fun.
talk to you about this grand shoot turkey.
Oh, I got it.
The infamous turkeys attacking my squad.
Have you,
Oh, yes,
have
yes.
you seen
Yes. Trina just saw it for the first time the other
She's
day.
sitting
and
there.
She almost
We're-
wet herself laughing so
We're
hard.
sitting there at a
I
local.
admit, it's quite hilarious.
Yeah, and she's like watching this, and she's like, "You got to see this." I go, "Is this like a joke? Like, did this really happen?" She's like, "No, this is really a call." And then the guy's like, "I don't know what to do. I honked my horn."
He took it as a challenge.
It's like I don't know what to do. He's challenging me now. It's a turkey and a police officer, and he was
a foot pursuit, yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
So is
Definitely
there
pretty
something
good.
we can send our viewers? It's called the Turkey Attacks Squad Car video, is what it's called?
You can just look it up on YouTube. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's family friendly and it's hilarious, and your whole family will be in stitches.
And you guys have never had any animals versus...
Not as good as that one, no.
It was
We
so
did
good.
have a bobcat that ended up
in the grill.
in the grill.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah, and that one went
Viral.
viral all
Wasn't
over,
it?
worldwide. Yeah,
Yeah.
we had requests
Oh, wow.
for that one from all over.
Oh, wow.
And you didn't hit the bobcat. The officer just how did
We
it wind
helped.
up in the
We
grill?
assisted with the Wisconsin DNR removing it.
But how did it get in the
In the
grill?
grill.
Did we ever figure that out?
I'm sure somebody knows the reason. I
Okay.
don't.
Yeah. I remember that now, vaguely. Wonderful.
Yeah, that was. But no confirmed Bigfoot sightings in Dewey or anything like that. Or
No.
Lots
Okay.
of bears, deers. I had
deer is
I just
plural
had
of
to-
deer.
I just had to do
I'm
it.
just saying.
Yeah, I just had to say it. But anyway, well,
Joshua Ostrowski,
yes.
thank you so much for coming
problem.
on and sharing your time with us. You're absolutely welcome to stay if you want.
He's like, I'm out of here. I can see this one not staying.
I can tell you though that the guests that have stayed for the whole show did not regret staying because they had a
No,
good
Mary
time.
stayed. We had a really good
They
time.
had a good
but
time, but
please get out, do your research on your
oh,
can.
that's just telling you to get out.
No.
Okay.
Get out, do your
Get out.
research on your candidates. Election we have, and you are not on there because you don't have a primary. So this is great.
That's right.
August 11th will be the primary. And
Yeah,
then
November is the main, so that's kind of cool. You don't have to have a primary. Be excited. Are you going to be in any of the parades?
I'll be at
Gotcha.
a lot of the events to say hi and pass out some information if
Yeah.
people have questions.
Wonderful. Well, please reach out. Anybody who has any questions. And thank you again from the both of us.
Absolutely.
We were
Thank you.
ecstatic that you were going to come on
Thank
our
you.
new podcast. So thank you. We wish the best to you. I wish.
Right.
I wish him the best too. I can say that. It's okay for me to say that.
We always worry because,
I can't give support for any one candidate over another.
I know. But
so,
he has no other competition.
doesn't matter.
All right.
We did a story on a sheriff's candidate a number of years ago, and this particular candidate was a Republican, and we received several phone calls about this candidate's past from community members. And after doing a little bit of due diligence, we found his arrest video. He got rather colorful. Well, everyone does when they, have too much to drink. And even after we ran the story about his arrest, he still got 10,000 votes. So it's hard to not get discouraged as a news reporter when you see what's going on and you find these things out and people vote for him anyway. And we did CCAP you. I know you're clear.
She tells us now after we have him on the show.
Everyone
God,
who
right?
runs for public office should expect to be vetted. And I think if more journalists were doing that job, we could clear out the clown car really fast.
Well, and I agree this should be a nonpartisan. I love that answer. That was a spot on. I think I agree with that.
I don't know that I've met a sheriff who thinks it should, in the
I've
past
never
10
asked-
years, I have not met a sheriff who thinks it should remain partisan. That seems to be pretty much across the board. Most sheriffs think it should be nonpartisan. So
Yeah.
we'll see where that goes.
I don't know, but I agree with that one for sure. Well, thank you. Are you thinking on staying?
No, I'm going to take off.
Yeah, my red hot take might get a little spicy this week.
Whatever.
Yeah, I've got a good story. Well, thank you.
Thank you guys for allowing me to spend this time with you.
It was our
Thanks for
pleasure,
coming
and
on.
thank you for running. I'm excited about it. I'm very happy for you.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good
Take
to
care.
see you. All right. How do we, Carl, top that one off? That was a great.
So I did want to inform you about the Bobcat. I was kind of interested. And I did have to go in and take a look.
At the Bobcat story.
This is Carl, our
correct.
production assistant. By the way.
Yeah.
So according to Channel 7, the driver said that they didn't see anything, but heard the vehicle strike something, assuming it was road debris.
Oh.
Interesting.
That's a large animal just to...
And
Interesting.
like for a small amount of noise, I feel like it would have been a lot louder.
Were they drinking? That makes me wonder.
I don't see anything on that, but
Oh, my
I would just
goodness
imagine
gracious.
the shock on their face when they're like, "Oh, I hit something on the road," and then here is a live animal.
And a large animal.
Yeah.
Those are not like,
I've never seen a bobcat in real. Well, maybe
Oh,
like
they're
in a museum, but
beautiful.
I don't know.
they're gorgeous. They're big, beautiful kittens. Gorgeous
I
kittens.
believe you.
Gorgeous. Great to see you, Josh. Thank you. All right.
Did you just shout in the microphone?
Yes, I did. All right. We are ready for this week's police calls.
We are?
Yes, we are, Brandy, and I'm kind of excited. Woo!
What's that?
I love this. We are really stepping it up over here with this production crew we've got going
have
on.
an amazing production assistant.
Oh
Carl.
my gosh. And it is
Gradient Tech Consulting. We
I
love
know.
Carl.
He's amazing. It just gets better and better. And this is going to be brought to you in part by Rookie's Sports Pub, located in Stevens Point. Most importantly, always open during the very busy construction season on Business 51 with our construction chaos. Their kitchen is open every day, 11 to 9 p.m., serving up your favorite Wagyu burger that her and I both
Delicious.
hands down agreed. Free trivia on Tuesdays, open mic on Wednesdays, bourbon and cigar on the patio on Thursdays, and he also has that amazing banquet hall that holds 300 in attendance with outstanding 46 beers on draft. All right, Brandy, what you got for us?
A Madison woman, darn it. Let's start that over again. I
Police and fire calls.
got Legos in my mouth or something. A Madison woman already on probation for previous retail theft convictions is facing new charges after police say she stole more than $500 worth of merchandise from Walmart in Plover and was later found with methamphetamine. Prosecutors say a woman named Nicole Peterson left a shopping cart filled with unpaid merchandise behind and drove away before the officers arrived, but she was later identified and arrested. During her court appearance today, Court Commissioner Sheila Kessler set a $100 cash bond and ordered Peterson to have no contact with Walmart. In a somewhat unusual bond condition, that ban applies to every Walmart in Wisconsin. Peterson remains in custody on a probation hold and is scheduled to return to court on July 27. In other crime news, a Plover man is facing multiple felony charges after investigators say he sexually assaulted a child years ago and spent nearly 2 decades living under a stolen identity. Jose Lizama, age 50, was charged with first-degree sexual assault of a child, child enticement, identity theft, and several related offenses following a months-long investigation by Plover police. Investigators say the case began when the now adult woman came forward last fall to report the abuse had occurred when she was 8 or 9 years old. During the investigation, detectives discovered the man had been using another person's identity for employment, housing, and a Wisconsin driver's license for years. He is being held on a $500,000 cash bond and is due back in court on July 6th.
That was a tough one. All right, so
You didn't read the complaint.
yeah, I
got the sanitized
I don't
version.
know how you do that. Like, I'm kind of lost for words right now. All right, thank you everyone again for joining us tonight. Please follow our socials on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe, please, to our YouTube channel. And again, thank you to all of our sponsors today with MEJ's, Lauterbach Legal, Maher Water Corporation, and Rookie Sports Pub today. Woo! Let's buckle up for this.
Is that Ric Flair? There's the Ric Flair woo. We got to have one, at least one.
Woo! All right. All right, I'm going to try to read this. I am going to put my readers on, let me tell you. Trina's red hot take for the week, or would you like to bust out with yours first?
You go right ahead. Oh,
Oh, this is pretty. You know, we're so blessed to have you, Carl, I'm telling you. All right, here we go.
Uh-oh.
I love it that Josh is gone now, I feel like. When Portage County announced its new AI dispatch system, I wasn't completely opposed to it. Dispatchers have a tough job enough. Staffing shortages are real. Shortages are real, and burnout is very real as well. If technology can help take some of the pressure off the answering the phones and handling radio traffic, that's worth exploring to me. But after reading through the comments on the Point Plover Metro Wire, which was hilarious, I actually called Brandy and I said, have you read the comments today? And she goes, nope, not yet. I said, oh, you better read those comments. Exclusive story about the new system and now experiencing it myself. Upon coming up on Ramp Highway 10 in Stevens Point, the stop sign on J, a heavily vandalized sign. So I immediately called dispatch and then hung up myself, thinking somehow it was a hacked phone call. Who knows what it was? I was like, what the heck? What is this? Did I call the wrong number? Checked the number. It was right. So called again, same thing, hung up again. I'm left wondering whether we're solving the right problem here. The sheriff's office says this technology is supposed to make things more efficient. Maybe it does for dispatch, but what about the people calling in the feedback posted by readers on the Metro Wire story? Wasn't exactly glowing. One resident said the system repeatedly called him Jason instead of Mason while he was trying to report a lost dog. Another said a simple call about a missing wallet became far more complicated than it needed to be. Others complained that the system couldn't understand what they were saying or that it's simply frustrating to deal with. And honestly, I understand where they're coming from now calling it myself. Only if I knew the system existed. Then I would have known what I was hearing. I still assumed something had gone wrong. That should tell us something, shouldn't it? When people call dispatch, they're not calling because they want to experiment with new technology. They're calling because they need something. Maybe it's a lost wallet. Maybe it's a suspicious vehicle. Maybe it's a found dog. Maybe it's something entirely like myself calling about a vandalized stop sign on a main busy county road. Whatever the reason, they want confidence, and that they've reached the right place, and that someone understands what they're saying. That's where the system seems to struggle immensely. The sheriff's office keeps telling about efficiency, and I get that, especially after having Josh here. I really get it now. But efficiency isn't the same thing as good service. If people are repeating themselves, correcting the computer, explaining things multiple times, or hanging up because they think they've reached the wrong number, such as myself, then experience it's actually more efficient. It's just more efficient for the government, hence the county. And that's an important distinction. A human dispatcher can hear confusion in someone's voice. A human dispatcher can ask follow-up questions. A human dispatcher can recognize when someone is frustrated or doesn't know exactly what information they need to provide. A computer follows a script. Maybe 6 months from now, the system is fantastic. Maybe it improves drastically as it learns. I don't know how that's going to happen. Maybe many of these complaints disappear. Well, I sure hope. But right now, the people who have interacted with it seems to be telling us the same thing. Inaccurate, it misses words, it's no here, there, near, ease of talking to a real person. That's not the reason to abandon the technology, but it is the reason to be honest about what it stands today. And while we're being honest, residents should have been told before the system went live. I didn't even know about it. Not a month afterwards. Transparency matters, especially when you're changing how people access public safety services. Because if the goal is better service for the public, the measure of the success is whether residents walk away thinking the experience was better, but based on the feedback, sorry people, the county has a lot more customization to do with this program. Now, I do have a follow-up. Since Josh was here, I get it. We're trying to ease the burden on these dispatchers. By calling in myself, I literally thought I was calling, like, it was so weird. And I hung up, and I was like, okay, wait a minute. Check the number, called again. I'm just frustrated. I agree with multiple people who have commented with the Plover Point Metro Wire.
Point Plover Metro Wire.
Sorry, I botched that. I love you, Brandy. It's just something. I get it. I have the utmost respect for these dispatchers and Josh himself, but we got to figure this out because right now it is not working. So
it's like none of them have ever seen the movie Terminator.
That is not funny, but it's funny because it's weird. It's just really weird. All right, Carl. I was talking about my red hot take for the week, and Carl had a comment on it.
Yeah, so I actually had a nice experience with it. And after hearing Josh, I mean, I get it too. Mm-hmm. Like, it does help relieve the load. And I know that there's a lot of people that call in for things that they really don't have to call in for. But when I heard it for the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, we've really gone down this path. And I was in the same boat as you, of where I didn't know it was a thing until I called.
Me neither.
And to me, it was more annoying. I do have to give them credit that they picked an AI that was a lot better than the other ones that you hear when you're calling a company. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it still needs help. Mm-hmm. A lot.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I am fixing our live that is paused momentarily. We got it.
All right. Well, unfortunately, my red hot take this week is not terribly dissimilar. I've been covering news in this community for 22 years, and it's kind of embarrassing that I've been doing anything for 22 years. Know what I mean? One of the biggest changes I've seen during that time is the relationship between local law enforcement and local reporters. When I first got into this business, there was a lot more communication. At the cornerstone of that communication, police officers knew who the reporters were. They knew what kind of experience news reporters had. They understand that news reporters had certain ethics and standards they had to meet before they could publish something. We saw each other all the time. Crime scenes, court hearings, community events, city meetings. Over time, relationships were built. Not friendships, not favoritism, relationships. Officers saw that we were trying to do the job responsibly. They saw us stay behind the tape, respect active scenes, verify information before publishing, and working really hard to get things right and protect the identity of victims. And if we've got something wrong, we'd hear about it. Sometimes those conversations weren't comfortable, but they happened, and that's how trust is built. Because of that trust, there was communication. If something significant was going on in the community, there might be a phone call or a quick heads up. Not details, not confidential information, just enough to let us something was going on and that more information would be coming. Getting that heads up is not special treatment. It's earned trust. It's the result of years of demonstrating professionalism, responsibility, and credibility. Today, though, it feels like much of that has disappeared. Everything seems to be handled through distribution lists and mass emails. The same press release gets sent to everybody at exactly the same time, whether you've spent 2 decades covering public safety or whether you're simply another address on a media contact list. Today was a perfect example. There was a significant incident over on Clark Street that drew a large police response. People saw squad cars. They saw officers gathering in one area. They knew something serious was happening, and naturally they started to wonder what was going on. There was no communication while it was unfolding with the press. The information didn't arrive in our email boxes until after the incident was over. Now, to be fair, the police department did not immediately post this to Facebook. That's not what happened here, and it's important to know that's clear. What happened is almost more frustrating. The city's community media development department, the community's I see, I can't even talk. The city's community media department is included on the media distribution list for the Stevens Point Police Department for reasons I cannot fathom. When the press release did finally go out, it landed in their inbox at exactly the same time it landed in the inbox of local reporters. Before most journalists could even open the email, read it aloud, and start asking questions, the information was already being pushed onto social media by the city. Think about that for a minute. The people whose job it is to gather facts, verify information, and provide context are effectively competing with Facebook posts generated from the exact same email they just received. And while all of that was happening, the people of Facebook were doing what the people of Facebook always do when there's a lack of information. They started guessing. I spent part of this afternoon reading comments from people who were convinced somebody had been shot, somebody had been killed. Someone claimed that the information came from a friend who knew somebody involved. None of that was true. Nobody was shot. Nobody was dead. But when people can see clearly that something major is happening and nobody is providing the press with information in real time, they start filling in the blanks themselves. Human nature has always worked that way, and social media has always made it worse. What frustrates me is that local journalists, the few of us that are left anyway, are often the best tools available for stopping that misinformation before it spreads. Most reporters aren't looking to create drama. We're trying to find out what actually happened so people don't have to rely on rumors, assumptions, and comment sections. There's another side to this that most people don't think about, and frankly, I don't blame them because they're not in this business every day. When a government agency or public entity publishes breaking information directly to social media at the same time as it's sending it out to news outlets, it can have a significant impact on readership. Depending on who you ask and which algorithm decides to do on any given day, news organizations can lose anywhere between 30 and 80% of their audience that they would normally reach on a breaking story when they're competing against a government agency on Facebook covering the same event. This may not sound like a big deal, but those readers do matter. Breaking news stories are among the most read news stories on any local newsroom publishes. Those page views help pay reporters. They help satisfy advertisers. They help justify subscriptions. They help keep local news organizations operating. When those readers never make it to a news site because they've already consumed the information somewhere on Facebook, that's revenue that simply disappears. And unlike major national media companies, local news organizations don't have endless resources. Every single reader matters. Every single advertiser matters. Every single subscriber matters. People often say local journalism is important, and I believe they mean it. But local journalism can't survive because people say nice things about it. It only survives when people read it, support it, and engage with it. Otherwise, we close our doors. And when local news organizations disappear, they don't get replaced by a city Facebook page. They don't get replaced by a police department press release. They don't get replaced by a comment section. What disappears is independent news reporting. What disappears are follow-up questions. What disappears is accountability. That's why these relationships matter. Not because reporters deserve special treatment, not because anybody should be getting secret information. They matter because communication works better when it's human. A phone call works better than a mass email. A conversation works better so we can verify facts and provide context. The public benefits when information is accurate and timely. The public benefits when rumors don't have a 3-hour head start before the facts finally arrive. After 22 years in this business, I've learned that trust is built person to person. It's built through conversations. It's built through accessibility. And once those relationships disappear and PIOs don't answer their telephone, they're incredibly difficult to rebuild. No email distribution list is ever going to replace that. No Facebook post is ever going to replace that. And no amount of technology is ever going to replace the value of two people picking up the phone and having a conversation.
Well, I have some things to say to that, and Brandy doesn't even know I do.
Uh-oh, let's hear it.
Okay.
Is it PG-13?
It has to be.
All right. That matters.
Okay. This is a tough one because there has been times something has happened and I've like, oh my gosh, there's squads on Clark Street. What's going on Clark Street? But here's the problem with today's social media. Ready for my story? You don't even know I'm going to talk about this. I have 3 children. I had an immediate family member. Some of them are probably going to be like, oh, yep, remember this night. I read a post on Facebook that there's, I don't know what I can all say on here, someone running around with a weapon in a trailer park. Oh, I have a family member in that trailer park. My grandchild was in that trailer park that night. As a mom and a grandma, the story went to people have lost their lives in this trailer park to, oh my God, it's a 26-year-old that's shot and killed. I mean, it was a whole thing on Facebook. That's the problem Trina has with that. I agree wholeheartedly with Brandy.
What's your problem? That people are
the social media stuff that gets shot out there for us to read. Yeah.
Stop hitting your microphone.
For us to read, as a mother, a grandmother, I was frantic.
That may or may not be accurate.
Right, yeah.
The information may or may not be accurate.
Yeah. So, with that being said, exactly what I was going to finish is when people post on social media and the media hasn't released the press release to someone who's a journalist and owns a very successful, I don't want to call it paper, but
we're a news outlet.
People who are now reading this, it turns into this frenzy of a gossipy, it could be children, it could be, the story evolves. And recently there was another tragic incident. The story evolved. It wasn't even the right age. It wasn't even the right person from the right community. And it's frustrating. So for those of you that read this stuff on Facebook, when it's posted, seriously, maybe check with...
Stop reading Facebook, first of all. Check a local news outlet. Doesn't have to be the Metro Wire.
Yeah, and
any local news outlet will work.
I'm not just saying to support Brandy, because this is her livelihood. For me, at that moment and that night, I was on the phone with people I know in law enforcement. Of course, they weren't answering. I was like, oh my God, is my grandson there? And I'm calling, and it's 9:00 at night, so my grandson's... they're all in bed, and I'm like, oh my God. Finally, I did get a hold of my family member, and they were like, what? We don't even know about it. It wasn't in the trailer park. It was down yonder in some apartment buildings. That's the point I'm trying to make. So thank you for sharing that. I can totally understand where you're coming from, and I just feel, I get people want to get it out there, but maybe think about it before you make the post, because people like me who have family members that could be living at that address on Clark Street, it's a little bit scary. So I needless to say, I didn't sleep that night, but thank gosh it wasn't in the trailer park. But thank gosh. But anyway, thank you. I'm sorry that you had to go through that today. So
it was not a traumatic situation that you need to apologize to me for.
No, I just feel like you didn't even know I was going to share that story, that, and we didn't have time to talk about it, but I was like, yeah, I can totally agree with what you're saying here in a different way. But anywho, all right. So, moving on. Business.
I'm sorry. I'm failing in facial expression management today.
No.
I can't even.
You're okay. It's been a crazy week in the news and media. It's been a busy week.
Not really.
Oh.
I'm just saying. It's been one of the slower weeks in quite some time.
Maybe last
but
week.
The social media thing is definitely creating a lot of problems for what little is left of local news. So
yeah, sorry about that. Business owners, if you are interested in any live remote promotion opportunities, we can be reached at redhotpoco@gmail.com. And for any of you that would like to reach out to us, please go ahead and email us. We check them daily. And now I am excited. I want to just do my, Ric Flair, but I'm not. This has been a thing for those of you that have followed our social media. We've been working on a jingle between the two of us. It ain't working.
We have?
Okay. You mean I've been working on it?
You sang last week that didn't.
All right. Don't do it. She tells me to shut my mouth. All right. So, clue for next week's guest. All right. Ready? She sang with Riders in the Sky, who is most known for their Toy Story 2 soundtrack, the Woody's Roundup song. She also did the Carpet City commercial jingle. And soon to be, what would that be?
I don't know, Trina. Tell us.
I can't.
Okay.
So I'm excited as our next week's guest. Please join us. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. She's talented. She's amazing. And I am beyond excited for next week's show.
You're beyond excited for a lot of things.
I love our guests.
Yeah,
We have been blessed with our guests and our sponsors. Please tell me you agree.
I absolutely agree with you.
I know. I'm excited for every single, they represent Portage County and what is great here and our community and living.
And I think that's kind of the mainstay of our shows. Local guests, local people, local business owners, local electeds, local people.
We just booked a local business owner, multiple business owner.
You just, everyone who comes on the show is going to be local. That's all you got to know.
All right, with closing today, and thank you guys for sticking in with us all the way for your Thirsty Thursday non-alcoholic beverage. But I don't drink, but I should start.
I am so ready.
This was a stressful one, and but my coffee's wearing off. But for all of you out there, buy the things, do the things that make you happy. Tell those people in your life that matter to you the most you love them. Life is way too short. See you next Thursday for more laughter and banter with the Red Hot Ladies.
Life is soup. Don't be a fork. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next Thursday.
Thank you. Signing off.